Of course, we now have Kizito Odunze, who's a bond sales analyst. He is joining us to discuss the fixed income market. So let's go on with that. Kizito, are you there?
I'm here. I can hear you.
Great. Now, as I was saying, we saw CBN selling $580 million in auctions last week. Now, of course, we didn't have any auction yesterday. It would be great to get your expectations for the WDAS auction this week.
Okay, well, the CBN, as you said, offered about 600 million last week and sold 580. And given that the first day of the week, which was yesterday, was public holiday, we expect the next auction, being tomorrow, for the CBN to offer a minimum of 300 million to try to cover for the lost day per se. However, there was also a little bit of provision per se provided by oil majors, which helped reduce the lack of supply per se. So given that the CBN has just one day to make up for the demand for the market, we expect CBN to offer a minimum of 300 million come tomorrow.
Okay, but I mean, do you see them perhaps doing another unexpected auction like we saw a few weeks ago, I believe, to tighten liquidity?
Well, one cannot tell per se, because there's also the supply available from oil majors. So if the CBN, for instance, has an idea that oil majors can cover that gap, they might not be willing to make the unexpected offering in the market. So one cannot say for certain if that is an option available to the CBN or an option the CBN is willing to explore in the coming week.
Now, Kizito, I believe there was an OMO auction today. We had CBN offering 250 billion naira, subscriptions of 198 billion naira. It'd be good for you to talk us through the OMO auction of today.
The OMO auction, as you said, took place today, and there was the offer was for 250 billion. The subscription was for 198. However, what was actually allotted was paltry per se. It was less than 20 billion. The range of bids was from 11 to about 12.49. So it's obvious that the market and CBN have a disagreement as to where interest rates should be. So given that, we expect the CBN going forward to make the most of other days and try to offer more OMO bills to see if they can mop up the excess liquidity that seems to be available in the market.
Now, very quickly, what about your outlook for yields in the TB space this week?
We expect the T-bill, the rates on the T-bills to appreciate a little bit and remain somewhat steady. There has been impressive demand in the market. Today, we saw yields appreciating by 20 to 30 basis points in the middle range of the table, whereas the long end of the table, we saw appreciations of as much as 60 to 70 basis points. So we saw a strong demand on one day. We expect that momentum to keep up for a few more days at very least. Then we expect the market to sort of plateau and until some other information comes into the market and the market reacts.